All right, it's nice to see you, everybody. If you are watching my videos, I'm Chamra Prabhat, and I'm usually conducting English writing classes for those students who don't have the ability to write in English, how they convert their own ideas into English, into a written format. So, this is basically for myself. Uh, this is conducting only for myself because I'm thinking that I also should improve my English language, not in the written format. I have already mastered lots of areas how to write in English. So basically, the thing I really want to do here is to give you some uh, enthusiasm. Yes, you can speak in English, but think before if you can really write in English. There are lots of techniques that can be followed to master a language, but it takes a long time. So you might be seeing that there might be some secret points that you can apply to get the fluency that you need. Sometimes you can see lots of people out everywhere, that they are performing wonderfully well. And you also would be thinking that, yes, I also want that proficiency, but you want that situation in just one click. It it is not just like you clicking on a video. It takes a lot of time and efforts and mental relaxation before starting your speech or conversation with someone else or individually. This is really an energetic idea for you, because I am speaking for myself. This is the way we can improve this language if we are really unable to find a suitable partner. But keep in mind, you should have the relevant the needed the knowledge and the resources that can facilitate to you to go this path smoothly. So when I'm speaking, I also do mistakes, so it's quite common. Quite means silent. It's quite common to do mistakes, but we should go on that track, doing mistakes and learning, and again doing mistakes and learning. And your path is not the final destination that you are going on. You are moving to the upright. So your performance will not touch to any destination, because you are moving upward. So if you think clearly upward, there isn't any destination. It will reach infinity. Infinity has no end. So all right, that's a good clarification for before starting any session. As I think. So I am thinking here to cover 10,000 hours of speaking. Even though I am covering the writing part, and I am guiding my students who think that I can be their guide of their writing English. It's the real thing, that you don't want to go grade 6 class, 7 class, 8 class, 9 class. It's okay that teachers are doing, they are doing wonderful. They are doing wonderfully, and it's necessary to participate, to be a participant in those classes. But we can think of that we participate from grade 1 to grade 13 school syllabus classes, which are focusing on our exams, and after that O level, after O level and A level classes, and what's more, and campus courses, and lot more things that we have to participate, because we think English is the real needed language. If we can't, couldn't is the past tense. If we can't improve this, if we really can't use this language fluently, other people might think about us in a negative way. So we don't want people to think about us in a negative manner. People have feelings, and we want great feelings for people towards us. So here is not a teaching part. This is only an improvement of myself of a spoken format, because I'm a teacher of teaching in English, teaching English using singular, and there are also lots of comments, positive and negative comments, that I have received during these couple of times. I only have a journey of YouTube for less than 2 years of time, and I really thankful to everybody who has already gathered around me, trusting me that I can do something for the people in Sri Lanka in terms of English, right? And yeah, I'm going to speak, selecting various types of topics. Yeah, I want to reach 10,000 hours of time speaking. I have read in a book recently that if you really want to master some specific anything, you have to reach in that field 10,000 hours of not speaking of that particular talent. We can take for example a wonderful, if you really interested in to be a wonderful cricketer, so what you have to do, the only thing you have to do is you should have clear vision that really I should be a wonderful cricketer that can't be touched to any discrimination of that particular talent. So you need to have that kind of a specific amount of particular time. There is also a saying that practice makes you perfect, but there isn't any guideline, or not guideline, there is not a line that should be in what type we should have the perfection. 10,000 hours, 10,000 hours might be a mystery. Yes, we can think there are lots of other activities people have to do, and I have my own life other than mastering something is also beneficial, because a skill is the only thing that is unbreakable during your lifetime, even though you lost almost everything uh, other than your mental situation. The skill is the only thing that will be helpful for you in any situation of your life, especially in hard times. You might not have friends, family members, or sometimes money. The only money earning process will money earning asset, not process. The money earning asset will be your skills. So I'm thinking, yes, it will take a lot of time, and I also I also have chances to use this time to conduct one or two classes, but I'm thinking, yes, I also should have a clear path, and I'm thinking to be some kind of top, not to get the whole market of English language. Uh, I'm also living in this planet like a normal creature, normal human being, and I really love people and teachers who teach in English, especially because I know their intention, what they really need to do in this situation. Most of the people trying to go out of the country, and if I were in that situation, also were can be used with if. Okay, if I were in that situation, I also would select would would select um, your chances, also your thinking also I will get. So today I'm going to speak about a specific topic that I'm going to select. It's time, and I'm writing it on my book. You can also say in my book, time. So I'm going to speak at least 1 hour to improve my speaking language. So what's time we can give our own definitions. What time? What time is? Tongue. What is it? Time. Also, single words are used also. Yes. Think. You are in a comfortable zone and you are thinking. If the people really need our speech, we should think that we should maintain a good, comfortable zone within ourselves. Other people don't think about us as they think, but we give as an output. Other people will get that one as we give. So I'm speaking in a comfortable zone, and I'm comfortable. No worries in my mind if I get wrong or if I don't have words during my self conversation. Conservation means protection. All right. Time is a wonderful thing. If you really think, what is time? Is it clock? Is it clock? Really, is it clock the time? We measure time by clockwise. In the Asian people, if we think about them, how did they measure time? They get the sun rays, the shadows of it, and they determine, yes, now the time is this, and according to the shadows of the sun, not the shadows, the reflection of the sun, they had come into a conclusion that now this the time is this. But what would happen when there is no sun in rainy days or with the dark clouds? There might be problems. Now we have time, so time is measured by the clock, and we have 24 hours of time. Yet we don't have a good final uh, description. Description about time. A lot of scholars say that time is a mental situation that really does not exist. All right, if we think there isn't a thing called time, what would be the life like? There isn't any time, so we don't have pre-schedules and get up time and working time, wake up time and exam time. Yes, marriage time. You don't know what age you are in and at what time that you are passing now. This is for me 10:48 now. 10:48 early in the morning. Very good morning. I was unable to tell you a good morning. Not telling, wishing. Yes, time. I wish we would not have time because we can think of who don't have time. This is not a topic to say that we don't need time, but this is an approach that I am using to tell something in English. Who don't use time? If we think deeply, do birds use time? Yes, they feel the time, but they really don't use the time. Early in the morning, they feel this is morning, and we should get up early in the morning to find some worms, which are very tasty for their tongue, but not for our tongue. And there is an incoming call also. I would take this one. Hello? Oh, Kaude. Good morning. අලුතෙන් ක්ලාසස් පටන් අරගෙන ටිකක් කල් ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවාට ඒක නම් ජොයින් වෙන්න බෑ. තව සති දෙකකින් වගේ මම පටන් ගන්නවා රයිටින් ක්ලාස් තමයි පටන් ගන්න. එතකොට ඒකට ජොයින් වෙන්න පුළුවන් ඔයාට. ඒක 3 months යන්නේ සතියට දවස් දෙකක් කරනවා. ගොඩාරකට රෑ 9ට පටන් අරන් 11ට ඉවර වෙන්නේ. රෙකෝඩින් ගන්න පුළුවන්. Zoom හරහානේ කරන්නේ. ඔයාලට රෙකෝඩින් දෙනවා. ඔයාට මොන අරමුණකටද? හ්ම් හ්ම් හ්ම්. හරි ඔයා මගේ YouTube channel එකත් එක්ක ටච් එකේ ඉන්නකො නැත්නම් මම ඔයාලට මැසේජ් එකක් දාන්න පටන් ගන්නදී මට මැසේජ් එකක් දැම්මහම පටන් ගන්න කොහොමද සති දෙකකින් පටන් ගන්න. ඒතර අපි ජොයින් වෙමුනේ ඒකට. ඔව්. නෑ නෑ ස්පෝකන් නෑ. ස්පෝකන් නෑ. රයිටින් විතරයි. අපි ස්පෝකන් කරගන්න ඕන. අදහස් කන්වර්ට් කරන එක විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට ඔයාලා හිතලා ටයිම් එක යූස් කරලා ස්පෝකන් කරගන්න ඕනේ. ඒක අපි තනියම කරගන්න. ඔයාලට ඒ විදියට ඕනම එකක් කන්වර්ට් වෙන විදියට කියලා දෙනවා. එතකොට ස්පෝකන් පැත්තේ හිතුවොත් ඔයාලට තේරෙනව නේද මං කියන එක? රයිට් ලියන්න ඕන දෙයක් ලියන්න. හරි එහෙනම් අපි ඉදින්ද හම්බෙමු. ඒක තමයි ඔව් ඒක තමයි වෙන්නේ. පොඩි පොඩි වෙනස්කම් පොඩි එකතු කිරීම් ටිකක් වෙනවා. ඒකම තමයි. හරි රයිට් ඕකේ බයි. සති දෙකකින් පටන් ගන්න. Right, okay, bye. We were in the topic time. So they don't have a specific time. Uh, I think they are enjoying the life better than us. Don't you like to become a bird or an animal? No, their life is too dangerous. It's a blissful situation having a life of a human being. So back to the topic time. Yes, time can be used as a resource. So we can think of what kind of other resources that we have within us. Our talents is a resource, and our talents and abilities, and everything around in the environment, and human relationship is also assessed, and a resource can be used for the benefit of anything. Yes, time is also a resource, but I think clearly everybody is given 24 hours of time. If they live, if they die, we can do nothing. But if a person lives completely a day, he has 24 hours. So you also have, and I also have 24 hours measured by the clock, right? What people do during this time? Most of the people think time is the most powerful resources that can be used to earn anything. To earn enlightenment, you need time. You have to use it properly to get good results for O level exam or A level exam in your future career also. Time has been the most important and the most influential thing in your life if we think really deeply. We will get examples situation wise and people wise and job wise and our purposes wise. Right. We will take situation wise the time, how important the time is. We will take a funeral. Normally in Sri Lanka, a funeral takes a week. That means 7 into 24. A bit of big time. Most of the people don't use a week time for enjoyment also, but they uh, have some ideas that we should perform this one week, or after that people also gathering and lots of works has to be work is singular. Lots of work have to be done. How has to be done? Lots of work has to be done. Work is singular, even though lots of plural. Lots of work has to be done. Most of the time is wasted if we think positively. When you stay at that place, your time goes by without any purpose if you don't think clearly about what's happened here. Death. If you think uh, 24 hours of time, not 24 hours, you should have time to sleep at least 8 hours of time. So you sleep and you have 16 hours of time to think about death. So you are thinking, and in the funeral, you are using the time wonderfully well. So you will get an understanding what a death is like and what type of remedies that we can use to not to face the death, because people are fearing to get the death. And some people are thinking, oh, death, please come to me and save me. I don't want this world to live any longer. It's a big suffering. Please, death, come and save me. That save means to kill me. Some people like to be killed because they can't endure the situation. The life is so dangerous for them because their thinking is too low. And we think again back to the funeral. That situation wise, we are talking. The time in that time the dead person has covered almost his time, and he has overed it. His time is over. Now he is lying on the bed, very comfortably, even though he didn't have comfortable feelings. Sometimes he might not have taken during his lifetime that type of comfort, laying on a bed for a week. Wow. Only death can support that kind of experience for people, but they don't really feel situation because there is no brain living. So we can imitate a death and we can stay on bed by having our needs and wants in a limited way. So you can't go out, drink some alcoholic drinks, and get on the bed and have a rest. That's not life. Yes, that time, if you really have to spend a week time, what would you do? You spend the time gossiping, chatting, and describing and exchanging ideas what this man had done before, whether this situation whether this situation will affect us also. No, no, no. You never talk onto the topic when you are participating for a situation. You are not talking about the situation. For example, we are participating a dining house, so we are not talking about the foods prepared here. Sometimes we talk about the dane house, or why this dane is being prepared and is given for people, not financial crisis. What happened to you yesterday? We heard a big noise around your houses. What kind of things that happened during the last couple of days? The economic crisis can be solved easily with this type of approaches, and sometimes people go out for a smoke or something drinking situations can also be happening during all that time if you really have some amount of money. Yes, the time. But if man, if really think about time, time is valuable. He visits the place. He visits the place in the funeral place, and he goes to the dead body, and he concentrate what has happened to this man. Now his life is over. Is this really happened to me? Or is this a thing that can happen to other people except me? So, what kind of things that this man has done for himself or his family or to the entire society and to his spirituality? What will happen to me? Will there are lots of people around me when I get this situation? Who will cry and who will enjoy the situation? This is the funeral of mine, and people are not talking about me. They are talking about various things. You will get angry and you die also. People have to think clearly. Any topic, any situation suggests us wonderful, great ideas that you have never met before with your feelings. If we select one point and we can go to the deeper points of it and find out the real underlying truth that can be found for our convenience of our mind. Clearly not I am focusing and telling about body, but mind. Mind is the most powerful thing which is vulnerable to time. So we are in the funeral and spending time eating, talking, and playing caroms and sometimes cards playing. So yeah, we have to think why we have participated here. To pay the honor to the man who has already died? Questionable. And again, we will get a time which is for a situation called problems in life. What do you do when there are lots of problems in your life? happy times, the times when you have lots of problems. Most of the people don't prefer to have any problem in their life. Because who prefer to have problems in their life? The people who really want to learn something, they prefer problems because problems create a path for their enjoyment. We can think clearly. If we forget one question, that problem will arise automatically. If we clear a problem completely, that situation opens a door of happiness. Where there is no problems anymore, there is happiness and pleasure. So it's very important to have problems in your life. So if you have 10 problems, if you solve that those 10 problems, you open 10 doors which are leading to the happiness. It's the nature of this verse. So don't get upset when any problem happen. When any problem happens in your life, happen or happens, you may use it. I'm using as it comes. After that, I will think grammatical mistakes uh, can be your uh, mm, limited speech. So you just speak, you think, yes, there's a bit of confusion. It's okay to have those kinds. I don't care. All right, I was where I was. Problems. So you don't like that time. You forget, you try to forget, get rid of that problem, and you don't going to find solutions. At that time, you should think, yes, before this point, I didn't have any problem. At this time, I have problem and I have sorrows. What causes this problem? You take time to think. You don't go to react immediately as soon as possible that you can. You stay calm and think what happened to me. For example, we will get the roof of my house collapsed down. So you are shouting, the roof of my house is on the ground. What will happen if it is going to be a rainy day, or if my child were at home, what would happen? We have to repay with our lives, and what a large sum of money I have to spend for reconstructing the roof of this house and the uh, uh, other mm, 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 things at home. Things that you see that I struck in certain points. That's the naturality that we have. So I don't get upset when I struck in certain levels, certain points. Mm, uh, Electric appliances and furnitures and fragile items, TV, refrigerators, and books of the children. Almost everything is going to be vanished, destroyed. So you take time and think, this is also a one of the experience that I am having during my lifetime. So you should just be calm and think, yes, this only happens to is this does this does this only happen to me? Not is this happen is action verb. Does this only happen to me? Or that can happen to almost everybody who has a low facilities with the roof. So it's a nature, it's a new thing to happen. So I have to bear that situation and think, oh, what a strange thing has happened now. Now I can see over the roof, not over through the roof. We can see lots of things. We can imagine if this happened at night, we can see the night sky beautiful. So you are boasting, you might be thinking that he's boasting and he's talking out of the topic. Because we can think in that same situation, or we can get bored or lost what amount of money will be spent for this, for repairing this, and should I have to take a boarding or apartment for a couple of months until the roof of the house is repaired, or I will sell this house and move to another one which is furnished beautifully and safe and safely. Mhm. Right, I am watching at the time now. I have spoken 32 minutes. It's a great achievement to speak alone 32 minutes any English. Sometimes in the topic, sometimes out of the topic. So, in problem situations, I was telling that we should be calm and let the problem covered, let the problem cover you. So, you can see the problem clearly without going to react to it. Many thoughts comes and cover you, so you are covered with problems and you are selecting one by one which is the most important one to be solved at once. You are thinking, not reacting. Some people might say what this man is thinking. The roof of his house has already come down. He is thinking, yes. You should think. You should take time to think before immediate reactions. If we take, if we don't take time to think properly, we will take unnecessary decisions. Let me explain you. You might think it will rain very soon, so all the things at home will get wet. So I should call the roofing company and get the seats and to a person who make houses, make roofs, a carpenter. I will call to a carpenter and get him here, and everything should be done in one click, 1 hour or 2 hours. Can come across like this, or you can think uh, at first I should cover the things that usually get wet, or uh, you want to experience the situation. What kind of feelings that are coming and going if I have to face with this kind of situation? Is my heartbeat level is going up and down very quickly, or it's continuing? It's maintaining a good parallel line. Likewise, the topic is time, and we are talking time related lot more things. And you also might remember a time that happened to your school roof, or sometimes you might have seen that had happened in your previous times to your friends' homes and to the homes which were on either sides of the road. The time that you went to schools during your school time, you have such kind of witness situations in your life. So you can think about those people also. Will they get nervous very quickly, or uh, would they think deeply what had happened at that time? So in my life, I always try to think that I will take time to think properly. What should I do next? If I do things very quickly, as my mind tells, experience tells me that I would take silly decisions that are made very quickly. Uh, in emergency situations, we should react very quickly, but it also should we should take time. All right. In hard situations, we were talking. I was I was talking that I am not going to react very quickly. I let the situation to be settled and see the problems, what type of problem should be solved, and we can also get some advantages of that situation also. If you think clearly, what kind of advantages we can get uh, with uh, with a broken roof. There's a saying that a dead body of a mouse created a path to be a millionaire, or in the Buddha's past lives to a man, and he was became a Situ. Situ means now duke, like a duke positionship. Right. In problematic situations, most people don't waste time. Ha- they hasten to act and they spoil the situation. All right, then we are going to have another time what we'll get. Hmm, in happy times, in happy times, those are the times that are very memorable in our life. We wish if we really would have any chances to go that time and enjoy the situation. For example, I can remember the situations, the happy times which I experienced in my university time. Wonderfully beautiful and interesting those times, full of enjoyment, with lots of relationships, and we are hoping that time would come now also. It's a blissful time, but most of the students at that time didn't get a good education, low with their marks, and some of them failed, and some they gave up their university degree also. I can remember three or five my friends also gave up their degree and they selected their path. Now they are doing wonderfully well than people who had got their graduation successfully with grade A's. I was also saying why why A students work for C students. It's, it's a fantastic topic to talk about. I saw that in Simple Books channel. It's wow, it's a great, wonderful channel if you really want to get lots of innovative ideas and if you are really business person, want to be a business person. Yes, happy times. Uh, happy times is something like an addicted one. If you feel a happy time that is marked in your mind and you want to get it again and again because you are addicted to that preferable situation that gives you a great comfort. We can think having a bike from one of your friends or not friends, one of your parents, and you are happy and you are thinking that yes, I can go around the village, I can cycle around the village, and I will not feel any boring because of that gift. You remember the time I received that gift when I was 8 years old for my eighth birthday. It's a time also, it's a happy time when you won a jackpot about 10 million rupees or 100 million rupees. You remember the time and you are expecting that time and to have that kind of experiences again and again. And the time you met your first girlfriend or boyfriend, you will never forget the situation. That's also the wonderful times that we almost everybody might have during their lifetime. I remember when I was starting this conversation, I was speaking very quickly, and in the middle, I was speaking very slowly, and in this point also, I am going to increase my uh, uh, frequency of using words. So it's increasing, decreasing, and stabilizing, and everything is happened. But I mean, my mind control is completely peaceful, and I am having it okay. It's okay for me. Uh, this is going to be published in YouTube online live, so this is not for earning money, this is not for teaching other people, this is how I am speaking, this is just for my improvement of this language. So we will take another time, we will take exam time. What people will do, we will think you are given 3 months period of time to get ready for your exam. And you might have 13 subjects, and you might have also a great aim to be the first, second, third, or the final of the class. To be the final of the class, you don't want get any expectation. So in 3 months time, every 3 months time in Sri Lanka, they get exams. So before notifying that there is an exam, people, students know that every 3 months time they have an exam. So they get ready. They know at what time the exam is going to be, and they get ready for the exam little by little, making some short notes and asking the things that they really don't know. Sometimes they might not have participated for the classes for a couple of weeks because of some illnesses or something like that, and because of their laziness also might happen, because and also sometimes when relatives visit their houses, children really like to talk with them and to see their faces and to discuss and to play with the other kids, so they stay at home without going to school. In those days they don't get the notes which are given, which the things which are taught at a school. So mm, they get ready. Some students, on the other hand, they don't know the value of the time and they are learning. They just learning. They don't do many practices to get the sufficient knowledge established in their brain. Even though we are taught everything at schools and with lots of clarifications, even though we understood almost every situation clearly, as the time goes by, we our mind is wonderful. They forget everything when we don't use them every time. For example, we will take there's a friend called Amal and we don't see Amal too often. So we forget there was a friend called Amal, and once he met, we get the feelings of Amal, but not deeper, but a little bit. Uh, yes, that's the reality. So when the students are getting ready for their exams, the A students are preparing at the very first lesson from the very first day when the term starts. On the other hand, some middle grade students try to get uh, try to accelerate their studies in the end part of the term, because they are notified that the term exams are going to be on this day and in this month, so they get ready. That's the nature of time for exams. And some children don't care about the time. They are like birds that we were discussing earlier. Birds don't have a particular time. They don't have clock. So they work according to their thinking. And uh, the fascinating thing that I am seeing here is they are living the life wonderfully well. And the trees also don't have time, and they are living, and they face to any hardships, any pressurable situations which created by the climate. Their friends are climate and their enemies are people. They are breaking their branches and cut down trees for trade and earning money, and lots of damages are done by people. Hmm. It's another part. Another time we will talk about that one. And yes, I was talking. Yes, some students don't pay any attention for their studies anytime. They have time to play games, even though the exam is going to be, and they have lots of time to talk with friends and sometimes go out cycling and for chatting with friends. And some people spend their time in junctions with lots of gangs, just talking and watching the girls and people are moving here and there in the roads. And elder people, that's a fun activity that elder people, the other than young generation, the maturity people, really do is they go to the junction and establish a comfortable place to see almost everything that can be visible in the village. So when the bus stops and the people gets down and they see how the people get down and what are they wearing and who is that one, who is that one, and is he carrying. Everything they are watching, and they are spending time for watching. They are watching TV, like when they go to the junction. It's also a good time to have a get a good mental relaxation. Yes, we're talking about the time uh, associated with exams. Yes. And exam date also a fixed timetable. Some children, yes, please be this time the exam, this time exam be late. I didn't have, I haven't got any readings to face this exam properly. If I have 2 more days, I will get A pass for this subject. And if I have a little bit more time, 2 or 3 days, or even for a week, I will be the first of this class because I have just started studying and the time is over. And because of those reasons, children might have some small short notes hidden in some places and go with them and write very quickly, even though they are given 2 hours period of time for writing. They will just finish in couple of minutes because of their short notes practice and with the help of those kinds of resources. Mm, if they are not caught, they are measured as wonderful children in the class. They have great ability for this subject. The future of Sri Lanka would be wonderful in terms of history, in terms of single language, English. English can't be copied easily by making short notes because it's a practical one. Wisdom also can be cheated in terms of Jnanapati or something else like the time. And if I move to a wonderful topic, people have different stages of time when until they die. For example, we will take people die at the age of 100. So they spend a great amount of time as a child. Just think about the time that they can't move their legs or hands properly. They stay as they were, like stones, and just only crying. So I think most of the time, the little ones would get 2 months or 3 months unmovable movements with their life. So uh, they just hardly walk when they get 1.5 years, and still they don't have the ability to speak clear words, even one word. They just listen and they just cry and they just ask things from anyone that can be seen around him. The only weapon he has is a wonderful cry to get the attention. The harder they cry, the easier they get the things. That's the nature of that time. And after completing that time successfully, they are able to work by themselves and to touch and to reach almost everything in the houses. And they reach to the kitchen, the most dangerous place when you have kids at your home. So there are knives and fires and almost everything, that salt and sometimes little snakes, insects, might be, and some wire connections and the coconut scrapers. That time is the most hardest time that parents might get, because they have to be the protector during that time of that child. Because if we get 1 second out of the signs of the child must have done something silly and risk its own life in that just second. So that time is really dangerous for the children for by themselves, and especially for their parents, because they have to carry those kids to hospitals and they have to pay. They have to keep an eye on them to save them from unseen dangers that can happen, but they react very quickly than we think. That's the nature of the uh, little kids, and the time uh, they get the chances to go to schools. That's a big time that students have to spend 13 years of time in school life, and again 4 years of university life. 17 years of studying time children have in Sri Lanka. It's a big one. If you think clearly, is that 13 years, not 13, 17 years of time is effective for their future life? For example, I will get there might be a students who had done at the first time in biology stream for his A level exam, and again he has done it in commerce stream, and again thinking he has done in art stream. So lots of things that he has done, lots of things he has done. Yes, and when selecting, sometimes he would not select a lifestyle that he wants to earn money. He would not select any of those fields. Sometimes he would think business. So his business is taught during this couple of years, the whole time of years. It's a question to be asked and answered by the professionals all around the universities and the philosophers that you meet in YouTube channels or anywhere. Yes, that time should be the most interesting and the valuable and memorable time that one should have. School life, in terms of enjoyment and relationship and understanding people, the choices and the happiness and almost everything. Fighting also happens during this time, and I can remember lots of fights happened when I was at my schools, particularly uh, little fights, little fights for no reason, uh, for the fights to happen. Yeah, silly fights, and that time uh, when we can think in grade 10 or grade 11 with lots of energy all the time. We prefer to have a fight because we think other people might not in our way. They are controlling our life, they are controlling our feelings, and I should show them I am stronger than them and I am better than them, and select the most dangerous weapon, fight and argument. They just really like to argue. As clever people, we should understand different types of stages of life have different types of feelings. In those kinds of times, we should pay our attention not according to our feelings but according to the behaviors of those kinds of times, particularly in child age, then school age, then the youth, the really young youth, and the maturity and the old age. Not the feeling but the understanding. Sometimes we will see lots of children are complaining when they come back home. I want more nutritious fruits, more tasty foods to eat. My friends bring these kinds of foods to schools, and I think they enjoy the same kinds of meals all the time, but every time I will get this kind of food. So what's the life purpose of mine? They might be questioned because they have the aggressiveness and great emotions, hard emotions to be controlled by themselves. They should be advised and guided according to their feelings. Not, you shouldn't work according to your feelings, but you should work as your understanding. That's the real thing. uh, at a school also should taught, but in those type of stages those kinds of things are not taught for those kinds of poor children, they might select the wrong path, and they will be hard to their parents also, and sometimes to the society. We have seen when the children get a free time, when they have gangs, they go around the village and looking around some king coconut trees or kurumba trees to pluck one of those and and have a fun out of everything. That's the time they are having, and they should be guided according to time. Time should not be wasted only for having some kind of fun. Pleasure is okay, but fun is a completely different one. Fun comes when we do some kind of any difficulty or unpleasant thing to the other people for our benefit. That fun occurs. For example, we will hit to the head of someone else and we will get fun, not pleasure. When we get fun, we cause lots of damages and problems to the other people who are really have come to live with us. So why do we do those kinds of things to get a certain to a single fun? Hmm? Pleasure is the most important thing. This is another topic. Yes, we will talk about the time we die. Almost everybody will get a chance, not will get, definitely get a chance to die. Is a chance to die? Yes, there's a rebirth in many religions. They have prescribed once you die, you will never die completely. You will get a rebirth at the time you die. So when the time you die, what kind of things that come your mind and what kind of feelings you might have. You have seen in hospital beds and sometimes at your homes that you didn't, when you didn't have some facilities to attend that patient's oral the one to a hospital to get his death comfortably. And we get an example at the hospital. So lots of people screaming, "Oh, please save me! I can't go from this world. I want to live in this world, even though I am in bed for unseen years. I would like to live. I want to breathe in. I want to taste tasty food, even though they are not taste great. I want this life. I can't go with my relationships. I can't go without my relationships. I can't give up them. What will happen to my property? I have lots of money in my bank accounts and lands here and there, everywhere. What would happen to them? I'm thinking, and I'm thinking. So my final situation will not be an enjoyable one because I can't die, even though the death is a, a common situation for everybody. Do you have any preparations for death? No, no, no. Death doesn't need any preparation, but you think one day I will die and I should have the ability to give up almost everything in one click. Or otherwise, you will get a perete. I don't know what's the word used for perete lives. Mm, a devil. It means a bad one. And I was talking about the time, and I think uh, onto the topic, I was not able to talk a lot, but the topic is not over the time, even though I have spoken 1 hour. I just touched the topic, so I have lots of things to talk. If you go deeper to the topic, so I have more things to talk, but I should get a break. I have spoken 1 hour, 1 hours of time. Anyhow, good or bad, I have used this language throughout throughout 1 hour period of time, and it's a great achievement, and I am thinking to continue this way, and I inspire you in the same way. If you can write in English, you can speak in English, whatever the words are coming, if the words are coming or not, you should maintain a flexible mind level. You should not be worried, even though the words are coming or not. You are doing well in your with your spoken ability. It's not a matter. You just speak with good mental situation. That's the need. That's the need we really want. And I by doing these sessions through YouTube and uploading this one to YouTube is to give you some comfort. Is speaking is not a difficult thing if you know some words and if you really have the ability to use this language in a written format. How to categorize your ideas using this language is wonderful way. So when you speak longer hours, this is the first. If we take for example, this is not the first 1 hour talking session for me, but I have completed a lot more sessions of speaking. That's why I have the ability to speak in a little good manner. Not the perfection that I really need. I have seen lots of perfection gain people in the in YouTube's and in websites and in some uh, owners of some books, authors, not owners, authors of different kinds of books. All right, the topic was time, and I am mentioning here it's not finished. It's I just glanced the topic, just touch it. I was unable to complete it. I think this topic might get 3 hours or 4 hours period of time. If I think I would say I would talk about more about this topic, the same topic about time. I just mentioned here. I just glanced it. It's better to have one or two another couple of sessions to talk about time. And if I really have spoken about the topic time, my minds get the freedom. Yes, I have spoken about the time. Anyway, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Wow, I had lots of ideas. Sometimes the same idea I have converted in different ways. It doesn't matter. I have spoken, I have used this language for an hour and 4 minutes. It's a wonderful achievement, and I invite you also. First, get an ability to write in English. I will support you, and then later on, I will advise you how to improve this language in a spoken way. All right, I'm going to go and have a break if I have time today. I will again I will be again here for another speaking session for 1 hour because I want to reach 10,000 hours. So I have accomplished 1 point out of 10,000, and I just have another hours of 9,999 hours to be completed. Thank you very much.